This will be part 2 of the character typing series. This one will be about cover fire. The first and most important thing to know about cover fire is that it's character specific, which means that compared to strike back, like we said before, every strike back does the same thing, which hits people back, give you a conversion opportunity. But each cover fire has very, very different properties, like the stun time, the speed it comes out. This is due to each character having a different type of shuriken, or kunai, or special shuriken, any type you want to think of. So here I'll pick the most notable cover fire and the most broken one, which is Tamari. And her cover fire is like the sole reason why I would put her as S tier, or yeah, basically S tier. And all Sasuke's are cover fire, so I'll just pick a Sasuke to show the difference between each cover fire. So it's always good to put cover fire with characters that have good mash, like Neji, because cover fire is a support that you can just throw out. So just don't click the left buttons anymore. Just use her as sole cover fire, so it doesn't waste their abilities. I'm pretty sure the character's on wind guard. Yeah, wind damage. So you can use cover fire, you give it stun, and then continue the combos. This is a sub trap, and it does a lot of damage as well. It can also be used for guard pressure. Very powerful. And as I said again, all kunais do sub trap, so it's very, very annoying to deal with. You can also throw a cover fire in neutral, like this. It's very annoying. It stuns. And Tamari also has broken things where her fan has a hitbox, where if they would dash you, they will actually get knocked back. So it's even safe against dashes if you time it correctly. And cover fires do give you enough stun to convert like this. Armor break messed up, but the gist is it gives characters that don't have infinites and access to a pseudo infinite that sub traps. Like this. Which if Neji wouldn't have like a down combo infinite like this, then the cover fire would basically give him access to an infinite. So the difference between Tamari's cover fire and Sasuke's cover fire is, like, we can show it here. Sasuke throws a very short and quick shuriken, while Tamari has like a very long stun, like that. She throws 2 hits, and yeah, it gives them a long stun. One more note for cover fire is that for guard pressure, it helps instant guard breaks a lot. So as we know before, like an instant guard break is when you dash on the opponent and then quick throw shuriken, chakra shuriken, which breaks their guard. Cover fire assists that because it gives extra hits. Yeah, it's basically very, very consistent. And then the next one will break. Oh wait, I think I messed it up. But yeah, the gist is it's very useful. I'm pretty sure if you jump chakra shuriken, switch jump chakra shuriken also activates it. Wait. Yeah, it also does. So you can use cover fire for switch tech as well. You can, and then just switch immediately into mash. Yeah, I guess that's all. Since most character typings are not as complicated as strike back, so I'll just go through a couple more. Charge assist is nothing really special. It's just when you charge, it helps you charge at a quicker speed. If I would to waste my chakra, it will be relatively obvious that it charges faster. So my regular charge will be like this. and then with charge assist it will be faster. And you can have 2 charge assists on one team, which will charge faster basically. And then break guard. I want you to showcase it with my second controller. So break guard happens when you break someone's guard, well, by the name. So if you guard and then Killer B will just block for me. So this is not extremely useful because you can just mash ultimate and it will still work. It will go through the break guard, which is quite ironic. So I would say break guards are like relatively a worse character typing, in my opinion. I mean, you can argue for Secret Sin Substitution. That's also not that useful. Sometimes break guard would delay its appearance, if you can explain it that way. So I mean, oops, sorry, wrong controller. So if you block and then I'm not sure I can get it here. I don't know exactly what activates it, but it normally just appears immediately. Let me think. I mean, it also works if the opponent's not guarding. So it's not really a break guard. It's just every single time where the opponent is in this state of, I guess, unconscious, it's just it activates. The only main useful thing is it stops people from I guess mashing or comboing, but ultimates and dashes just ignore it. Dashes get blocked by it, but after you dash it disappears and you can just mash. I'll just let the opponent pick the characters. Let me pick those characters so it's easier to showcase. So, as I said before, like you can also break guard like this. So natural guard breaks last way longer than normal guard breaks. So you can walk around the break guard and just convert that way. You just walk around. So break guards are really kind of a joke in my opinion. Except like the occasional times where they respawn like really late. And then it would just actually block your combo, which is sometimes it could be an inconvenience, but I'm not sure exactly what activates that. And yeah. So yeah, it's not that useful. The next character type. Next one I will go to charge guard. Charge guard basically activates about 1 second after you press charge. This is to prevent when you like dash at opponents or do a jutsu, it blocks them. So yeah, it appears about 1 second after it activates, and then it blocks shurikens, it blocks chakra shurikens. Oh, it's because of the angling. The angle is slightly better. Yeah, it blocks chakra shurikens. You could just move around it by jump throwing or like to the side of it. It will dodge it. And then Fima shuriken, like this one, goes straight through it. Because it has multiple hits. So it isn't as useful as a guard, I would say. And then dashing, just wait. Yeah. So it's a really interesting property where it doesn't do the breaking animation. Instead of it gets hit and then it comes back right after. But if I would do it for Itachi, it will break and then he won't come back for a couple seconds. This is I don't have a list of why this happens, but it's just really interesting. So I guess some charge guards are like, I don't know, better than others. Oh wait, no, now it broke. And then if it's like really close, it actually doesn't block it. Like the character can move between them. So yeah. I guess one more thing to note is that it does block jutsus like Naruto's. It does block his jutsu. So that's relatively useful. Yeah, but there's just different properties. It also has a shield, so it can block a number of things because you can see it's red. It works very similar to dash cut, I would say. And then the next one will be, I guess, the boss of all typings, which is dash cut. It is debatable which one's better between dash cut and stripe back because they are just very, very different. But stripe backs are seen as more, I won't say fair, but I would say more aggressive and more conversion. Like it enhances the experience of the battle. Whereas dash cut is exactly the opposite, where it slows down the game pace because you can't dash people freely. It's very simple. It activates the second the opposite person dashes, so it's an automatic thing. You can't activate on your own. It has to like wait for the opponent to dash and then it appears. It works for all kinds of dashes. It works for ninja dash. It works for dash. Well, it's supposed to work for dash. Yep, dash cut per se. It also ruins combos. For example, I want to extend. Oh wait, sorry. It takes a couple seconds to regen because after you dash them, they're on the ground, and then it takes about like, I would say, give or take 7 seconds to get up and then become a dash cut again. So it can ruin combos like this, and then the opponent is like in neutral again. So it cut me off, but I was basically saying that the best characters to fit dash cut with are Neji, which is a strong mash character, and Shino, which is a like zoning character, because you can just do that after dash cut protects him. It's just very powerful, and of course dash cut is like not being available for a couple seconds. Yep, but still. And then Neji is the same thing, except you just do mashing. Oh, and dash is still not available. Except you just mash. The way to deal with dash cut is there's multiple ways. You can dash stop, and then you can attack them. You can double dash, which breaks the dash cut and the second dash hits. A way to get around your dash cut staying on the ground for that long is very simple. Say right now you can tell he's on the ground for a long time, where that entire time he can be dashed. But you can just switch into it and then switch right back, and then the dash gets active again. Yeah. So you will see a lot of top players after they're being dashed. After they're being dashed, you can see them switch tech, and then do this, and then switch right back. And then Choji acts as a jutsu defense, and he also acts as dash cut again. So it's really powerful. Rikudo level 9 does this a lot, where if his dash cuts get hit, he does this, and then he switch jutsus, and then he switch jutsus right back. So after his dash cut gets hit, he switch jutsus, and then he switch jutsus right back, which is another line of defense. It's really good combos. Yeah, so overall dash cut's just very safe, hard to play around, but you can still play around it. It's just an extra layer of defense.